Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Pup. We are here with week 4, I think. No, this is week 5 of the PCPL Little Cup League. If you guys didn't see our last matchup against a new, go check it out because it was a great one, and I probably will end up spoiling it. But we are facing off against Zintaf this week, who is 2-2 with a very scary team that will go on screen. But be sure to, click that like, click the subscribe button just to make sure you don't miss out on any more of this draft content that goes up pretty much every day on my channel. I'm really excited for all this Little Cup content. But yeah, let's look at what Zintaf has to offer. I mean, it's a really scary team headed by the Hisuian Zora, who's just really scary with the illusion. They also have Hisuian Growlithe, Wattrel, Corphish, Sandygast, Nimble, Tinkatink, Strudel, Solosis, and Feebas. Now, looking at the team, I really don't think, a Feebas is going to come. It doesn't look very good into me, although it does have a good speed tier. But I'm worried pretty much about those top 3, especially the Nimble, the Strudel as well. And then I see the Corphish coming against me, I think, as well. But we are planning on hazard stacking them because they have 0 removal on their team, although they do have the Taunt Strudel with Prankster to make sure I don't get those hazards up. So we're going to start. I'm just going to look at this mon here, my Sawaddle. We're Choice Scarf, Sticky Webs, just to make sure we outrun everything on their team that's not also Scarfed, which I don't really see them being, Scarf Wattrel in this case. But we can get that Sticky Web up for free versus most mons on their team. We can also click Switcheroo and give something a Choice Scarf, steal its Eviolite, and make the rest of the game really a lot easier for some mons on my team. Also, going physical with Lunge and Seed Bomb is actually quite solid into their team here, as obviously they do have the potential Tinkatink that's able to resist and the Wattrel, but everything else really takes a lot of damage from this mon. So we can even use it as a late game sweeper if it really comes down to it. My other hazard stacking mon is my Eviolite SHELLDER here, just clicking spikes versus their team because it really punishes them. Make sure that we can keep track of where that Zora is, just seeing what is going to take spikes, what's not going to take spikes, everything like that. And in this format, no one runs heavy duty boots because Eviolite is just so good. So having that, extra chip damage is going to make it really easy. We also just, kill everything with Icicle Spear and Rock Blast that's not named Tinkatink. So once we get that mount out of the way, SHELLDER looks really solid in the matchup. We also have Sandshrew because I thought Stealth Rocks were really good in the game as well. So that's good for the Wattrel and the Growlithe that are both huge threats to the team. Wattrel really keeping me from bringing my Voltorb since it is Volt Absorb and very resistant to my Grass Stab. But we can, threaten that thing, switch into it decently well, even with bad Spadef, because we do resist the flying moves that we might bait out from, a Timber or Swaddle. We get to click Ice Shard versus them. We also have Swords Dance, because if we get these hazards up, +2 Ice Shard can absolutely sweep their team in the mid game. And then we have EQ just to catch, a Growlithe switch, a Strudel switch, something like that. Then we are going to have our Gimmighoul, which is really going to take advantage. We have a great speed tier that outruns everything on their team, or speed ties with like Feebas and the Zora, I believe. But this mon is really nice. Being able to take one hit from anything, being able to get that nasty plot up, and then after, a rock and a spike, every single mon on their team gets OHKO'd by Power Gem or Shadow Ball. We also do end up having Protect on the set just so we don't get revenge killed as easily by Nimble clicking First Impression, although they can easily have Sucker Punch as well. Next up is going to be Gothita. This is, just a nice little trapper set with Psychic, Thunderbolt, Calm Mind, Protect. I don't see this mon doing as much in this game as it usually does with the Scarf set, but I want to have something a little bit bulky that can take a hit in the back. If there's, the Zora is really being annoying to me later in the game, trying to sweep through me with Terra Blast or Hyper Voice or something like that, we can bring this mon in and get a really strong Psychic off on them. We also do have that Protect so we don't get destroyed by Nimble as well. And then Thunderbolt so we can hit everything on their team with decent damage. And then last up is going to be Timber, who has been the MVP of the season so far, although I did not expect him to be. But this mon is really solid, really good in the early game, knocking off Eviolites. We also have the Ice Punch coverage, which is good against Wattrel and the Sandygast. And then Drain Punch, Mach Punch is great into their team, but I expect to use this more in the early game, as we can't reliably click Mach or Drain Punch while that Zora is around. They can also easily be a Will-O-Wisp Hex sort of set, which I thought about bringing Guts, but I thought Iron Fist was just going to be a little bit better to guarantee some KOs on the Wattrel and the Sandygast. But yeah, that is going to be the team for this one. I am pretty nervous about this battle, but I have been doing very solid since our loss in week 1. So we'll see what happens. If you guys do enjoy, please be sure to hit that like. See you guys in the battle. Okay, we are getting connected to Zintaff. Let's see. I mean, they bring everything that I expected. Is there anything really unexpected? They didn't bring the Corphish, which is really nice. No Tinkatink is also nice, but I really see them leading with the Shroodle here. That's kind of the idea, is that we have a ton of hazard support on this team, and they might want to just go straight out into Shroodle for it. So I think Timber is a great lead, and we just click knockoff versus anything. They really don't take the knockoff well. If it is the Wattrel, that is worst case scenario, but Timber, I mean, I don't really mind taking that damage with this Mon. But really the idea of this, we are getting up spikes, we're getting up stealth rocks, we're getting up sticky webs, and hopefully just destroying their team with priority on this. And with Sandshrew, we can also sweep with Gimme Ghoul, especially if they don't get up rocks to break our sash. So yeah, let's just do this. Good luck, have fun to our opponent. Obviously a little bit annoying to face up against Hisuian Zora, so that's why I'm a little bit scared. But I feel like they should lead Shroodle, knowing that I have webs possible on my team, and they can prankster taunts into that Mon. And, you know, they just beat Sawaddle easily anyways. And we do see Clyde, which is the Wattrel. That is annoying. They could have Hurricane, which would do a lot of damage to my Timber here, but it should never knock me out. And we can just go for a free knockoff here, as they do just withdraw turn 1, which makes me believe that that's the Zoroark. As they go into the Sandygast. Awesome. And that takes 50%, no more Eviolite, which means it super dies to Ice Punch right here. So I'm just gonna go for it. We know they're not the Hisuian Zoroark or Hisuian Zora, and we just get a great, you know, first couple turns off the bat here. Ton of damage off the bat, and then no matter what they would end up bringing out next, we just knock it off. Yep, goodbye. That's a nice threat to be out of the way this early. I could have just not Ice Punch turn 1, but Knock was always just more free. It's super free into any team, really. Just being able to get rid of anything, any Eviolites, anything like that. Yeah, but a little bit sad that I didn't end up leading with any Hazard Setter. There's no Shroodle off the bat. That's really the only Mon I was worried about. Although they might want to be some Unburden. Now they do bring out Clyde again. This one's probably clicking Hurricane on me. So I'm going to go out to Sandshrew on this one. If it's not the actual Wattrel, that's okay, but I'm pretty sure this one's going to be the actual Wattrel. Yep, their Air Slash. Which did 8 damage on a crit. Air Slash crit did 8. That looks like it's Modest or Specs or something. Yeah, they have to be some sort of boosting item. Interesting. I think they might be Choice Specs. Choice Specs from Timid. How much does that do? Yeah, that is Specs Timid, I think. So I really love the Sword Stance play, but I think Stealth Rock is just really good into them, as they're not Specs. They just did a ton of damage to me. Oh well. We're gonna get our rocks up here, so that Mon's gonna be taking some extra damage every time. Oh well, weird damage rolls and stuff, you know what happens. As I bring out Herman, probably the Growlithe. No, it's gonna be the Shroodle. That's fine. I really don't mind the Shroodle coming out. I don't even know what it does to me, if I'm gonna be completely honest. Do they end up having Drain Punch? I feel like this is a sneaky Drain Punch Pokemon. It can click Taunt versus me. That's not even what I was thinking. I was thinking Knock. If they are knockoff, at 5 HP, it always does knock me out. I think we just go for the Ice Shard here. Should do a decent chunk of chip to this guy, as they are Sunny Day. That is very scary. Alright, but that's pretty fine, as they're going to be eject button. Whew. Alright. This probably just brings in the Growlithe. Under the Sun is really scary. As, yeah, there it is. Okay, what are my options here? Like, this thing might potentially be Choice Scarfed. I don't know. I think I should sack the Sandshrew here. They should always be faster, and I can Ice Shard. But I don't want to risk them going for Sub or something like that. What else could they do that could be scary? Agility is not too bad. Sub is the really, like, the only scary thing, because I do have Focus Sash in the back. Yeah, we're just gonna go for EQ, as they're just gonna Flare Blitz. Alright, Sun Boosted Flare Blitz is insane, as they crit me too. Alright, but I should be able to go out to Gimmighoul. Yeah, Gimmighoul should be okay here, just to Power Gem them. If they're not Choice Scarf, we'll just outrun them anyways. I am thinking that this thing is going to be Choice, though. And we should be able to knock them out with Power Gem here, as they are Scarfed. Yeah, I figured. They're going to bring me down to 1 on that Sash. Maybe it would have been better to go out to the Timber in that scenario, which always kills with Knock, probably. But if they were Eviolite, then I would have just lost that Pokemon. So, I mean, this was always the most safe option, even if it might not have been the best option. But being 18 speed, we outrun pretty much everything. They go to Freddy. It was going to be the Nimble. Ha! Well, this is totally fine, because they're going to click First Impression here, as we are protecting. They might also have Sucker Punch, but they do click First Impression, this time at least. And I think here, if they're gonna click Sucker, I mean, I can swap out to potential Shelder and start getting spikes up and being really annoying for them. So I think I am gonna make that play. I could easily see them staying into Sucker. And then we put them in a really interesting position as they do Sucker. Great. So this Shelder, we obviously destroy them. Do we really still want spikes up versus their team? I think we do. Although Icicle Spear, you know, just gets a free kill. They do not have a Pokemon that survives Icicle Spear, I don't think. Leech Life does about 50% to me. So I can live and get 1 layer of Spike Up. Oh man, what do I do? I think I just Icicle Spear, because it should always kill this Mon. So they're gonna U-turn. Does 8 damage, that's a lot. But yeah, Life Orb. That is what I was expecting. We should just pick up something for free here. We'll see what they end up going out into. Potentially Wattrel. But I know they're not Scarfed. Maybe the Hisuian Zoroark is. It's gonna be Clyde. Is this the Clyde? I honestly didn't even see the Rock's damage, as it was. Okay. So they do go Wattrel, sack it off, which is great for our team. But it puts me definitely in range of the Hisuian Zora, probably. We might not actually be. But they can Will-O-Wisp, they can be annoying with that sort of stuff. So we're gonna go out to a Freddy here. I mean, we definitely do not die to first impression. Do I click Spike? I mean, we die to 2 hits for sure. Let me just Icicle Spear. They're gonna first impression, we live. I really thought about setting up the Spike there, but it didn't matter too much. We're just gonna claim another with Shelder. And nice thing, so I know that my Gimmighoul is gonna outrun this Zora. I know Sawaddle should as well. That gives me almost enough chip right off the bat. Because we're going to send out Herman. This is the guy. This is the Zoroark, or the Zora. So what do they end up going for here? That is the question. They're Bitter Malice. Okay. Bitter Malice. What exactly does this do? I should know this, but I do not off the top of my head. Lowers the target's attack by 1. Interesting. So I could potentially go out into Gothita. We should live a Bitter Malice from this Mon. We can also go out to Timber and just be able to click Knockoff versus them, which should put them in range of everything else. I think this should be our best play right here. So we just go and click Knock. If they want a Will-O-Wisp, that's totally fine with me. We're gonna knock off their Eviolite that they should be wearing, because they just Bitter Malice, so maybe they're choiced. So that did 13. Yeah, I think they're actually Specs. Yeah, they just die. That was Specs, wasn't it? The illusion wears off. Goodbye. Man, Zora is so cool. So cute too. As yeah, they were choice Specs. Now we're chilling at -1 attack. We're against the Shroodle. And this Mon could potentially knock me out here. It's actually pretty scary. Because we're at -1. Gunk Shot definitely knocks me out from this range. All we need is really the Mach Punch chip though. Yeah, that brings them super low. They acrobatics. We super die there. But they still have an item, don't they? I'm pretty sure they still have an item. No matter what, I think Gothita might just be able to come in. Should not die to knockoff. Yeah, or I could go Sawaddle and get the kill with that Mon. I think we're gonna pad the stats on Gothita. Might as well do it. We should always live this. And just be able to go for a nice Psychic to clean up the game. Yeah, I don't think I saw an item. Oh, no, they did. But, I mean, it would just boost the Acrobatics power, as we do end up living that with the Eviolite, and we click Psychic. Good game to Zintaff there. Got it to be a scary one. I'm really glad that I had the Focus Sash in the back. I guess I did have to just be a little bit wary about that Growlithe with the Sun. It just does so much damage into my team, especially when I don't bring the Seal. But yeah, very, very good game. Really happy with how I performed. Even one game without the Voltorb here, which I don't think had the greatest matchup. But, you know, as soon as they got rid of that Sandygast early on in the game, maybe it would have been really solid here. But they do have the Watch Roll as well, and the Nimble, being able to click first impression. But that is going to be about it. If you guys do enjoy the Little Cup content, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.